No surrender. I haven't been flipping through photos because I only had
You
two.
mean sacrifice?
Yeah, I have no surrender written down. That could be why I had such a hard time finding photos. What are you gonna do? So yeah, sacrifice. Big news coming out of this. We'll tackle this first because I feel like it's the most important. Josh Alexander's not going anywhere. Woohoo!
Yeah.
So I was getting to a place where I was very down. I was sad boy Chad. Because I'm like, Impact's main event scene is maybe the worst it's ever been. Like, Heath was fine. You got Jonah and Jay White, but they're on loan essentially. Like, both Jonah and Jay White work for New Japan. Jonah for New Japan Strong, the American branch, and Jay White for New Japan proper. By the by, Jonah is rebuilding the Mighty Don't Kneel with one of the guys from the tag team. I forget his name.
They
But so that's
they
pretty cool.
fumble those guys so hard in NXT.
Well, I'm hoping that they bring over the other one because I know
No.
their names. Let's see.
Yeah, chance them to that. Which one's the mod and which one is no Neil?
Uh, I mean, you're not wrong.
Shane, was it Shane Thorne? Not Shane Thorne.
Shane Haste and something Thorne.
Yeah.
I think Thorne debuted in New Japan this past week. I think. So I like them building up that trio in New Japan, but in Impact, I feel like Jonah really does have something. He's a big bully. And like the thing with Keith Lee and Wardlow, like I don't get what they're trying to be. Wardlow's trying to be this, suave, debonair bodyguard, wannabe Batista, and that's all I see him as. I wannabe Batista. And with Keith Lee, it's like you would be great if you dropped 30 pounds, bro. Just like eat some kale.
Yeah, which kind of goes back to the discussion we had last week, coming about, friends kind of reaching out, talking about his health and wellness, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I'm just happy seeing that guy not being forced to have another personality that clearly doesn't fit him. That Bearcat thing was trash.
I like that nickname because he kind of does look like a Bearcat. You got a cute little face. You want to go, oh, Keith Lee, look at that. And then he's got a big old bear body. And you're like, oh, yeah, all right, now that makes sense.
You're a full country right there. But yeah, I tell you one thing. That is my favorite theme song of his. Like, they really, who am I? Yeah, that's some good stuff. But yeah, he could stand the kind of shaping up a little bit, not get too like off, because I think that size is a trademark for his, but he gets to trim up a little bit.
Yeah, I want him to pull an Eddie, like an Eddie Edwards, and just lose some LBs to get yourself in better shape. You don't need to have the Adonis body. I'm not asking you to look like, Brock Lesnar or Davey Richards or whoever or Bobby Lashley. Just you could stand to lose some LBs, my friends. It's not shaming to say your health is important.
That's interesting too, because me and Chad have always championed Eddie with that title. It's like, wait till you turn heel and shit.
Now that he's heel, like, do you even put the belt on him? Do you want to put the belt on him? I don't know. And like, there's so many questions to answer. There's so many questions to answer with Eddie and this Honor No More group. So with that said, though, let's look at the card. Getting the Alexander back was a good thing because it strengthens the main event scene, and now they're gonna wrestle at the next pay-per-view, I guess. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Rebellion.
I'm still hoping that they bring in his wife because his wife is gorgeous. I mean, she's talented. I have to say she's talented now, right?
It's interesting.
She's pretty.
There's a thing that Carl Anderson always brags about, but it's actually both their realities. But we really see it with Josh Alexander.
Well, with Josh, he adores his wife. With Carl Anderson, he doesn't. His wife went out on a Twitter tirade and accused him of cheating on her.
Wow, I didn't know about this.
Yeah. So, but let's be honest. Are we really that surprised with Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows? Like, they scream douchebags.
The Bad Brothers.
Right? Like they are guys who are intentionally problematic and they like to be antagonists in and out of pro wrestling. So like, are you surprised that he would, turn heel on his wife?
I guess they told us in the theme song. I sold my soul long ago. Yeah, I
I
guess.
mean, they're living the gimmick, brother. They're living the gimmick. So Alexander, you got Moose. Jay White's an option if Ring of Honor, not Ring of Honor. God damn it, I need to stop doing that. If New Japan ever lets him be an option, I think you can build up Chris Sabin, and Jonah obviously is an option, and Rich Swann in a tizzy, and maybe Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, but outside of that, I don't know. And even that, some of those guys need to be finessed and worked on. So we'll see what happens with the main event scene. But matches for Impact's Sacrifice were great. I didn't catch the pre-show. The first thing I saw was Trae Young, not Trae Young.
Oh no, I didn't see him.
So yeah, apparently I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks now.
Yeah, look freaking Miguel is should be arrested for all the shows he keeps stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Him and something.
Yep.
I've had to see a Jake something match in the last 2 years I didn't like. And Miguel gets better with every outing, and when he gets in there with an opponent like something, I mean, this is an all-time match for both of them, and I think an easy match of the year candidate.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, this was some damn good stuff. You had power versus speed and maneuverability, and they showed up and showed out. Like, I don't always like that meteor when I see it from Banks, but Miguel's making me dig it.
Which Banks?
Sasha.
Oh, sorry. For some reason, I was thinking of Marcus Banks. I'm like, I don't even think that's a person. There's so many generic ass wrestling names, man. Like, don't hate me.
So many Chris's, so many Adams.
Oh, jeez. So
only one Danhausen.
Only one Danhausen. Everybody love that Danhausen. This was Jake Something's last match under his current Impact contract. He's currently a free agent. Impact brought back Josh Alexander though, so like I'm not ruling out a Jake Something return. And if Jake Something is done with Impact, like that's another name for your Ring of Honor relaunch. Just throwing it out there. I do hope Impact goes and signs John Gresham. That would solve so many of their issues.
Please. His wife's right, and she's 26. Did you see that birthday photo?
No, but I'm pretty sure it was for her OnlyFans.
No, it was for only everybody. I'm like, I don't know how this guy leaves the house, and she's just 26. It'd be so many pregnancy housings in that house.
Pregnancy housings. Was this on Twitter?
Yeah, because it just.
No, I don't worry about it. I'm going to Twitter right now to look for it.
You feel like you already spilled coffee. Might as well be slobbing too.
Well, I'm trying not to spill things anymore.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so let me ask this while I look for the photo, because she retweeted the photo of Jade and Taya kissing. Thoughts on... Oh, I see it with the cake and
sold my soul.
Oh, look, it is for sale. Marcus, no.
Yeah, I know. We're eventually when we get an abundance of money, we're just gonna upgrade our technology. But this may be a caveat.
Marcus, don't waste money. Just right click and save. She apparently was inspired by somebody else, I guess.
Okay, if she needs inspiration for the pic she's been taking, Jesus, I don't know what she's gonna do when she comes up with her own ideas. But the kiss, I'm digging the Jade kiss. I think she kissed Conti or somebody else on the forehead. I like it because with her thing. I don't necessarily know if she want to go around kissing everybody because we still in and some we call it a panorama. But I like it. I like it. I mean, I'm a hater of it because Jay's got some full luscious lips. And I would very much like to be that opponent, but I think it goes along with a gimmick.
It's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. That's for sure. All right, so we'll see what happens with Jake something. Eddie defeated Rhino. Pretty much after Steve Macklin turned heel and then face and then heel again, or turned face then heel then Steve Macklin represents Steve Macklin, and maybe Gunner, depending on what Gunner's doing these days.
Oh God! Come on, man. We already had the COVID stuff with Deanna. Don't do this.
Who was the other one? Steve Cutler? Was that the other one, or was that him? No, he was Steve Cutler.
He was Steve. Oh, racist. Oh, that was his other gimmick.
I don't know. All these Steves look the same to me.
You're like, who was the racist? No, that was his other gimmick. You sure?
So Macklin's other buddy was who?
It was
Wolf?
Gunner, him, and I think it was Wolf, the guy from Eric Ewy's old group, right?
No, isn't it Buddy Murphy's ex tag team partner?
Wesley Blake.
Was that who it was? Wesley Blake?
Yeah, I think so.
He always looked like he was just happy to be somewhere.
Yeah, these look like the guys that would have been waiting for multiple seasons to get patched in at Sam Crow.
Like, all right, Macklin will probably get in, right? Because he's the dude that will roll up onto some cop's house and lay a beating to send a message. Gunner's the dude that you need to make sure isn't rolling with the neo-Nazis cooking crank. Because you don't know. And then fucking, not Buddy Murphy. I already forgot his name. Wesley Blake. Such generic ass names. Wesley Blake's the dude that's clearing out the septic tank every other week for 4 years because they just don't want him. But they don't want to clean out the septic tank. And like every time they call him to the table, he doesn't say anything because he's just happy to be a part of it.
And then the episode he was supposed to get patched in. Oh, he's dead.
As soon as he gets patched in, he steps on a landmine and dies. And he's shooting with other members over a dog. That's Wesley Blake. Don't trust Wesley Blake. He needs a different name. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
What a terrible name. So anyway, I could see him coming in, but I don't know. I really like the influence versus inspiration match. It wasn't like a technical match, but it was very well told with the story and like whose side is Corey with a K or Caleb with a K actually on. Like that was a great story. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. We always talk about this guy always finds a way, even when he's not really in a position that's relevant or whatever. Because he was in such a weird place for a long time when he was on the active roster.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's back in this role, and he's really I think he's found the groove with this character, and specifically with this particular part between his. I was just happy for this match because I finally deciphered which one was the inspiration and which one was the influence. So that's that was my highlight of the match.
Yeah, definitely a highlight. I really like Cassie Lee. She's she's just That's it. That's all I need to say. She's just I think that puts it over. Jonah and PCO. Holy God.
Kaiju. I didn't know he could do.
Do it, Marcus. You can do it. I know you want to. When two kaijus are about to go at it.
Earth and fire.
There it is. And the crazy thing is, like, on both Sacrifice and No Surrender, the Jonah match may have been the best match on the card, and he arguably had the hardest guy to carry for a dude his size. Like, PCO is a madman. Like, the dude is pushing 60.
Hey, man.
He's 54. Sorry, he's not pushing 60, but he's not far from it.
look, it's 3 matches to watch on this show, and I think that the 4 gets an honorable mention just because of it was better than I thought it was gonna be. But Jonah, to your point, like he's another one that's had dude shows up and shows out in this match. I mean, Black Taurus and now PCO. Come on, man. And I think they mentioned it on time. And I think I'm more favorable of this commentary team than Chad. Cause like again, like I said, we're coming off of D'Lo and Matt Striker, but like I think it was Hannah Fan or Reinhardt that mentioned that's the most trouble Jonah's been in.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he had the match with Alexander, and that's a whole completely different problem. But PCO is a different beast in general, so he literally had to do alternative stuff to kill this guy, which I liked. Which it got to the point where like, oh no, he's just trying to kill him at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that was good.
What I love most about PCO is the dude was gone from wrestling for about 12 years or so. And then he came back at like 47. And then he got even crazier with his moveset. Like, that poor man is not going to... By 60, he's going to need a walker. And like 2 new hips. Or maybe even 3 new hips.
It's weird. It's weird because I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he's 100% like white, but he wrestles like he's Japanese.
Essentially, like the PCO is one of those deathmatch wrestlers from like FMW. He just does not give a fuck. It's incredible to watch. Speaking of incredible, Jay White, Alex Shelley got the internet abuzz. It really showcased how good Jay White could be with the right dance partner, and Alex Shelley is just one of those gems.
Stud, yeah.
It was a nice dream match, very technically sound. It might be one of those match of the year contenders. Definitely an option. It was one of the few matches that actually trended during Twitter, or on Twitter during the show, I should say. So that's awesome. And I'm sure this is one of the 4 matches you would recommend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not often times you see Jay White specifically coming out of New Japan and seeing a Jay White match where he's spending majority of the match on defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's played into the story of mentor mentee, taught everything you know, not everything I know. And I just like the whole stance that Shelley took. Like I'm sunning you right now, kid. Like I don't care what you are, what group you started, what era it is, you about to get this work. So that was good. Like he escaped with a win with that Blade Runner. So that was good. I could watch those 2 go again. And like the aftermath situation, we're not shaking the hand. Classic I call him MJF Jesus. Classic Jay White. But yeah, good stuff. Definitely go back and watch this match.
Then we had 4 straight title matches.
Mm-hmm.
Perazzo retained the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship over Chelsea Green. That belt won't be on her waist much longer. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, Tony Khan's gonna want his belt back eventually, right? She defeated Chelsea Green, and let me just say this about Chelsea Green: she's terrible.
That is the if we clip anything from this show, let that be that, because you stole that.
She's awful. Like, she's bad.
I would have put money down that was finna be a compliment.
No.
The way you saw that lead in was crazy.
Here's a compliment. You never have to worry about her wrestling for very long. 9 times out of 10, she's going to get herself hurt because she's terrible. She broke her wrist again for the 3rd time in 3 years.
Jesus.
She is bad at this job. Like, I'm beyond catering to Mid Cardona. I do not know why they have her on this roster. She's not a personality that is likable. She is not entertaining in the ring. Like, Deanna Purrazzo comes off as very uptight and very, like, in her own, huff. Like, that whole, like, New Year's Eve huff where, like, she wasn't wearing a mask and wasn't vaccinated or whatever, and people were, like, dogging her, and she's like, well, what do you want me to do? It was just a party with some friends. Like, she took zero responsibility. It's like, ugh. Oh, you're just that you're just someone who can't take responsibility, aren't you? but at least she can wrestle. Like Tessa, her jaw could cut glass.
Yeah.
So could her personality. But the bitch could wrestle. You know, like you think about Jay White. I'm not a fan of Jay White. I feel like his fetus face annoys me. But the bitch can wrestle.
That's a shirt, by the way.
The bitch can wrestle.
Yeah.
But I look at Chelsea and I'm like, you're not a good mic. You're not good in the ring. You don't have a likable personality. Like Alicia. Alicia's not a great promo. She's not super athletic, but she's very likable. You want to cheer for her. You want her to have all the success because she tries so hard.
I so want her. If they every time they do one of them women's X Division matches, I mean, what the freak Ultimate X matches, I'm always rooting for it. I want her in every one until she wins one.
I just want her to I want her to win a belt, even if it's like for like an hour. Even if they like 1999 WCW, like she wins at the start of the show, loses at the end, just so she can have it for that brief amount of time.
Also, that X is far bigger than she is, so that's gonna be a cute picture.
Right? That X is easy at least half of her body. Like I don't mean just like her torso and chest. I mean like from her waist to her head is the size of the X. Be the first sub 5-foot wrestler to win the title in Impact history. I would be flabbergasted to find out she's taller than 4'11". I wouldn't believe it. Margaret, I wouldn't believe it.
No, same here.
Because Eddie's only like 5'8", and he towers over her. But like, there's no redeeming quality about Chelsea Green. The only thing redeeming is that when she hurts herself, and then you don't have to see her for a while. That's a good thing. I don't want people to get hurt, but if like any reason to get you off my TV, I'll take outside of like a mortal injury. Like, if you keep breaking your wrist because you're dumb and you don't know how to not to break your wrist, all right, I'll take that. But if, like, you collapse your lung and nearly die, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather suffer through your matches than have that happen to you. But if you're just going to break your wrist because you're dumb, go have fun.
It's interesting. We don't have no personal beef with her, but she don't do nothing for us. Like, it's just, she's like, I do. No, her existence annoys me. Her literal human existence annoys me.
Her existence doesn't annoy me. Her existence in wrestling annoys me. If she were to go be a housewife or a mortgage broker or a CEO or a line chef, all that'd be fine. I don't mind that she exists in the world. I just mind that she exists in this company because she has no redeeming qualities. But this is the first time I railed against individuals that they've signed that I think have no redeeming qualities either. So, like, you know, the Good Brothers. I'm not a fan of some of these hires. I'm not going to sit here and be quiet about it. Just because she's a chicken married to Mid Cardona doesn't mean I'm not going to come after her like I come after the Good Brothers.
Right, but we got some mild justice with the Good Brothers. We'll get to that.
Yes.
Justice should have been in the name of this pay-per-view, but it came all the same. But yeah, I kind of wish this whole champ challenge was like exclusively for us to get those forbidden door situations like we did with Thunder Rosa instead of this, because it came off like, we're clearly not going to be able to get her in the title match against Mickey after tonight. Let's throw a bone. And like, of course she went for the Ring of Honor title, because why would she be going for the reigning? But yeah, she got in there, somebody for Deanna to face, got in there, got out of there. So, you know.
I would really like to see them do, especially since travel restrictions are better and AAA and Impact have a working relationship. I would love to see, like, Lady, who is that? Lady Shani, I think her name is. Yeah, I think that's right. Maybe even bring up Fabi Apache. You know? I think that'd be dope. I don't need to see more Chelsea Green trying to wrestle. I've been watching it for 6 years, and I still don't get it.
I've been watching it damn near a decade. It's in the same place it was when she first started.
Right? She had like a mild moment when she went crazy and did the whole hot mess thing, but like I didn't like her then either. I was like, oh, cool. She's pretending to be Britney Spears. Like, whatever.
All that. No, 100. See, now it clicks. And I always appreciate situations like that just for the sheer commitment. It was trash, but just for the sheer commitment of it all. But yeah, she peaked.
Yeah, and she's never found that groove again. Speaking of finding a groove, Tasha Steele's got her groove back.
Ayo.
Heyo.
Let
Uh,
me go-
this match both made me happy and mad at the same time. It made me happy because, all right, let's see what Tasha Steele is going to do as champion.
Yeah, yeah.
Made me mad because, like, why are we booking this like it's a WCW main event from 2000? Just
You know-
have Tasha Steele get a surprise win on Mickey. It's not a
You know-
complicated, process.
I think I'm going to be the one that end up having to give Chelsea a compliment after we basically just steamroll her. Respectfully.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
For the purposes of what she served for Mickey's psyche in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought that was really good. And I don't know if you agree with this. Tasha came out with I'm about to cash in this Money in the Bank energy when she came out.
Mm-hmm.
And just went after Mickey and kudos to Mickey because she sold it with the whole. It was down to the point where she was like really overly distracted, but then like you said, she was legitimately injured, so I guess that also paid dividends. But I think to your tweet, you were like it was a little bit of over interference.
Mm-hmm.
When I think just the whole her being off was her being distracted was enough, and even though she was kind of revving back into gear, she was still off. But also, I gotta give kudos to Mickey again, because like we talked about, like she's not necessarily my cup of tea in the ring, but for some reason, and I think I figured out during this match, I'm like, I think I've been missing. What she's been missing was the hardcore in the country. She's been country. She's always country. But she's been missing the hardcore. I'm like, you have your punt kickers. Mickey's the cunt kicker.
But the funny thing, Marcus, is she's always been a little hardcore because she used to do adult photography.
And also in one era of Impact, she shout out to Howard Saint. She took the train, but she took the train.
She was trained. She was. Not. I'm gonna stop talking now.
That guy had somebody legitimately called police on that situation. Like what? Jesus Christ!
Are you kidding? I was watching a wrestling show and someone fell by a train.
Like it wasn't even done well enough to warrant that. So when it on tape, but anyway, I digress. Like Mickey going back into her bag with the just like literally she's low blowing women. I dig it. I dig that. Like when she turns the aggression up, she works for me. Even the moves kind of turn up for me. So I don't, I'm like I kind of been missing this during a whole reign. But if it came late, it's fine.
I'm kind of interested to see where they go with Tasha now. I don't know if they're gonna do a return to Mickey as champion very quickly. Yeah. Personally, if they got rid of Mickey, I wouldn't bat an eye at it.
Me either.
People are like, yeah, she's a legend, but she's still as good as always. And I'm sitting there going, but she isn't. And she kind of never was. And she was only good comparatively because of the division and roster and era she was in. I don't know, I got all questions, but,
Careful, Chad. You're lining up too many facts.
Right? Uh-oh.
Hey, this is not good.
People are going to come for me. The problem is there's not a lot of depth on the women's roster either, like the men's roster when it comes to headliners. Like you have Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay, who I think as an act are headliners. I think they're very charismatic, very personable, very likable, very hateable, depending on how you promote them. Yeah. But, I don't want to see Tenille Dash in the main event. She's talented enough in the ring to do it. Madison Rayne has the personality, but she isn't the worker she needs to be. Giselle Shaw is tall and beautiful, but she's very uncoordinated, at least currently. Lady Frost has all that you need, but she's very fresh, and you need something substantial to be a main eventer, at least, when we're talking about the women's division. Parazzo's got all you need, but is almost kind of overdone at this point.
Mm.
Like, we've seen Deanna Parazzo for nearly 2 years in the main event scene of the women's division.
Yeah.
And, Tasha Steele's fresh blood, but now she's in the Moose situation. Who are you putting her with?
She needs opponents. Do you throw against, what's the name, Stokovich?
Slamovich?
Slamovich, thank you.
No, because Slamovich is a heel, and like Lady Frost, she's very new. This would be one of those opportunities to call, like, hey, Melina, you want to come
Okay.
play?
Well, because you saw I think you might have referenced that article when that Gail Kim was talking about names she would like. I want them to bring in Ember Moon, man.
Mm-hmm. I think Ember Moon, if you can get Mia Yim, bring her back as Jade, although that'd be ironic now with Jade Cargill. Like, those would freshen up the division, give them some depth, and would give Tasha Steelz some fresh opponents to go with in time. Because I think you can get a month or two out of Mickey in a rematch.
Yeah.
But then what do you do? Like, I look at Taya Valkyrie, I look at, Ember Moon and Mia Yim as obvious options of people you can bring in as potential new headliners in this division, or in Taya's case, going back to the well. But I think with Tasha Steelz, that would give you a good year worth of matchups.
Yeah.
So I feel like you need to invest some money in the women's division going forward, especially if you want to get Tasha Steelz the best opportunity to prove herself.
Damn, I just thought about it because in my mind, narratively, this spot would have maybe eventually went to Hogan had she stayed, potentially. But I was going to ask you, is she definitively signed to AEW? Because how much of a interesting story that would be for her to come back and kind of spew that thing. Like, the only reason why you got it was because I wasn't here to get it.
Well, when you talk about Hogan and Tasha Steelz, I think the only question that I have for you is, what you talking about, brother?
Never miss an opportunity to bring up Dick.
How can I not?
We're coming for you, Hogan. No, Book. No.
I just love how. I can't remember her name. Damn, I can't remember her name.
Kiera Hogan.
No, Sister Sherry. I love how as soon as Booker dropped the line and dropped the hard R, or no, it's a soft A. He dropped the soft A. She just turned around, kind of like hugged him a little bit, like, oh, it's okay. And he was like, what did I do?
Oh.
Thankfully, he's given out a plethora of N-word passes in his career.
Oh, God.
That was how he made up for the "We're coming for you."
Oh my God.
He gave out N-word passes. Ah! So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
When it comes to women's division, though, I think that's kind of the route they need to go.
Yeah, give our girls some competition. Like, we don't, particularly with the names we just mentioned, because I would like to imagine somebody listening to us, because there's evidence that they have before. I don't know why Lady Tapper just came across my mind, but no, we don't.
Lady Tapper.
No. So
she
yeah,
fought in MMA once, and it didn't go well.
I don't know why I'm not surprised, but yeah, just get our girls some competition. But it was a great win for Steelz. That was a lot of people's highlight of the night. It was cool to see so many people on social media give her props. So that was a really good moment.
So that takes us to the tag titles, Violent by Design and the Good Brothers. I fucking hate the Good Brothers. I don't know why they ever signed those assholes in the first place.
The fact they told us they was almost champions for 200 days, most of which I would imagine they really just didn't defend those titles. Or that's the narrative I want to go with. I know they had title defenses, but I just wasn't happy that they existed in the first place. So
even if let's assume they defended the belts every 30 days, they weren't defenses that anyone cared to see. And that's the truth. And let's be and here's the thing that's even more shocking. They've actually held the belts for nearly 350 days combined since they joined in 2020. All time, they rank 5th in combined days with the Impact World Tag Team belts. LAX, Ortiz, and Santana version ranks 1st with 662. Beer Money ranks 2nd with 514. The Wolves rank 3rd with 413. Did I say Beer Money ranked 5th? I meant they ranked 2nd. I'm looking at raw
Gotcha.
numbers. The North ranks
Nice.
4th at 401, and the Good Brothers rank 5th at 350, with the Machine Guns ranking 6th at 279. And then the Hardys and the Decay, Styles and Tomko, and then the Bromans.
Stop,
your top 10.
stop calling bro, man. Let's talk about throwbacks. But yeah, I did appreciate the story of like they lost these championships. Violent by Design did at what last year's Bound for Glory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been in the crawl of the group ever since.
Slammiversary.
Slammiversary, yeah, and it's been the sticking point ever since. And what a better pairing to go up against these two idiots than the vengeful Naked Morat and Doran.
When in trouble, call. Wait, what was it? No. Who? What was the lyric of the song? When in trouble, call.
Yeah, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a line. It's like K Possible or KW or something like that. Ugh. Or maybe it was what was Kim Possible's little buddy's name? The tech guy. Called DW. Is that what it was?
I want to say it was, but the catchphrase was "What's the sitch?"
Kim
Possible.
Possible lyrics.
Impossible, and her best friend would eventually turn boyfriend Ron Stoppable.
Oh, Eric Matthews. When you want to page me, it's okay. Let's see. Maybe I was thinking of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, man, I want to go back and watch that now. Add it to the list of 50 things.
Right behind 30 different viewings of Gargoyles.
Yeah, and I think you still got to get caught up on Resident Alien, who is having another banner season, by the way.
That alien cannot just stay out of trouble, can he?
The guy that plays the sheriff.
I like him.
MVP.
He's great.
MVP. Just put on like one of these great emotional performances. It wasn't exactly Why He Don't Love Me Man from Fresh Prince, but for sci-fi, it was close. Yeah, just good stuff. But I didn't know that like Joe Doran really wrestles in legitimate cowboy boots.
Yes, because he's insane.
I'm sitting there like that is just asking for the F your ankle up.
But let's be honest. If Joe Doring is wrestling in cowboy boots, he's not going to risk effing his ankle up. The ring is risking getting effed up by his ankle. You know?
Yeah, and to be fair, he does. I mean, he's very, low gravity because he's not leaving his feet much. But with that situation, it's just run wrong move, man, and you're permanently tweaked for the next set of taping.
I do like putting the belts back on Doring and Young, mostly because I like Doring. He's a world's strongest tag team determination league champion on 3 different occasions with Muto, Swama, and Dylan James, who is James Rainier. Or is it Rainier or Radnier? It's Radine.
Shout out to you Smallville fans. It's not Ranieri, is it?
I don't catch that reference.
The guy that was over the coat with Addison Matt Keith Raniere. That's what I thought.
Ranier. Yeah.
That's what I thought his name was.
No, James Radine. He was a Evolve wrestler for a while.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a perfect. I mean, we talked about it like he needed more shine in the original. But I think when they lost, it was Young and Jake, right?
No, I think it was Jake and
No.
Not Jake. No, it was Joe Doring and Cody.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. I got it mixed up. Yeah, he's Cody. So it was Doring and Joe. Yeah, this is the right combination because I just like.
I got to get the white people chart for you again. We don't all look the same. No, it was Doring and Rhino.
Oh yeah, there it is. I forgot because that also played into it. They kicked Rhino out because he took the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they eventually kicked him out because he took the pin and didn't really get as aggressive as they needed him to. So that played into it as well, which I did. And I just like Cody as like he's killing it with that flag. But I
Mm-hmm.
got it on the side, and you could use it obviously for a weapon. So that's the thing. Needless to say, it's not a lot of people that's gonna be stopping EY and Doran.
No.
But if you got two people that can do it, again, throwing their hat in there, Swan and Mac,
Mm-hmm.
who I would imagine are gonna be put off for a while, considering the fact that Swan clearly wants to kill Eddie.
Man, that is gonna be a feud I can't wait to see.
You know how much that hurts me and Chad because I got the clip saved. I'm taking back what's
What's
mine. This
mine?
is basically me and Chad anyway. Can't hold me
Down. I am the fire. Oh. I thought we were now Chris Bay and Jay White though doing skating dance at Moose. I thought we evolved. I thought like Pokemon we evolved to the Jay White Chris Bay lookalike
we,
skating gif.
we, we oscillate. By the way, that's still one of the greatest things I've seen in wrestling in the last 2 years. Oh my god.
I'm just gonna Google skating gif with Jay White and Chris Bay's name and see what happens.
God, I hope it comes up because I don't remember if I saved it or not. But that was, the look. I don't know who found those guys, but you the real MVP. Um, but yeah, they finally got the belts off those idiots. May they never get them again. If they feel like they need to go to AEW, I will call them a ride share. Um, call them a ride share. Feel free to go do your thing. But yeah, VBD. It felt like the titles came home.
Yeah, and
But
we'll see what happens with this long term because like I feel like they only ever take the belts off of the Good Brothers to put them back on the Good Brothers.
God, I hope not.
I know. I bring up painful thoughts.
Yeah, because it just felt like the titles came home, both in that instance and actually, because to your point on the last show about the former WWE people, it felt like the titles came home in the last three instances, back to the end with the influence, with Steels, and then with VVD.
Mm-hmm.
So back on real Impact talent.
Speaking of real Impact talent, is Moose ever gonna get real Impact talent to wrestle? It took me a while, but I finally found the GIF.
Nice.
Yes. So Moose and Heath had a really good match considering who was in the match. I still don't know if these cats are going to be what you want them to be as headliners. Moose is doing the best he can, but he really doesn't have the best talent around him, and it's hurting his run. And now he's going to be shoehorned into a match with Josh Alexander, which I don't want to say shoehorned because they've been building it up since October, but if you're trying to make him into a main eventer on his own, I don't think his run has worked. And I blame a lot of that to do on the talent he's worked with, yes, but also he has not gotten good or as good as he's needed to be as a promo guy. Now, Eddie's not a good promo guy, but Eddie's a great worker. So, like, there's that turnoff. Like, Eddie can work with anyone and it'd be a main event match. Moose has proven that he can't work with anyone and have it be a main event match. Like, he wrestled Morrissey and it was good. It was fine. I wouldn't pay $20 for that match. I wouldn't pay $20 for Heath and Moose. So, Moose right now has a reputation of having fine matches as champion, but not anything overly impressive. Do you want to see Alexander take the belt back and reestablish the main event scene as must-see TV and Impact if it means Moose doesn't get to have the reign that maybe we both think he deserved? Or would you rather keep the belt on Moose until Moose can turn it around, knowing full well you can either go JBL, which is a compliment because JBL turned his title reign into something that was very impressive, or he could go Jinder.
Yeah.
And Jinder had a very long title reign that people keep forgetting he had. Which direction? I don't want to say which direction do you want him to go because obviously I know. But which direction do you think he would go in if they kept going the course?
Ugh. Batney.
Yep.
That visual. I want to say it might end up like Jinder for the fact that we can't necessarily guarantee that he's gonna get the talent because when JBL did it, I mean JBL had Eddie, Cena, Mysterio, Taker. You know what I'm saying? The names kind of rattle
Big
off.
Show. All right, so not all of them are winners.
Yeah. So, but he those names kind of rattled off, and eventually we know how it ended. But with Moose, um, like I think it'd be good, like you said, if he had the right guys to kind of to cultivate it. But that's just not happening right now, and I don't know who they're gonna bring in. And honestly, as much as we praise Impact and they deserve a lot of it, they get some questionable people, and we'd be looking like, was this just something that like a quick cash grab, or did you really think this through? So it might end up going the way of gender, and I think they probably should allow Alexander to reset that scene.
I'm on board with the idea of resetting the scene with Alexander, but I think if you have enough time and maybe you're not worried about pushing the title change until Slammiversary, you can still salvage Moose's title run. But I don't know how you do it without some malarkey and shenanigans. And I feel like if at this point the Impact World title cannot be involved in too many shenanigans, like I would be fine with like a situation where, like maybe Alexander's wife, who I think his name is Jade Chung, too many Jades. I think her name is Jade Chung, and if she gets involved, because she used to be a wrestler in the WWE, albeit briefly for like ECW, I think you could build and continue and develop the Alexander Moose feud from Rebellion in April to July, because that's only 2.5 months, give or take. But if you do it wrong, you end up killing whatever hype the match may have, because this is going to be Moose's one money feud going forward. And I don't know what else you can do with Moose that would satiate the desire to see more from his title run. So you may have to chalk the title run up as not necessarily a bust, but as lackluster, and pray that it doesn't drag down Moose when he loses it, because it does happen. Like sometimes when guys lose the belts in a way that isn't really conducive, it hurts them. I think it hurts Rich Swann when he lost to Kenny Omega, because it felt almost unnecessary and dare I say, rude.
Yeah,
Speaking of rude, he was another one.
it's
When he lost the NXT title, he got dropped down.
yeah, and it's so interesting too. That's why as much as we're kind of in the on the fringe about what's going on with Eddie because we don't know where it's going, but there was so much truth to his why.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we went into a pandemic. Everybody was scrambling. We got on the even playing field. Everybody liked the fact that you brought in these guys, but you allowed them to run over us. The guys that were supposed to stop it couldn't get the job done, and then you never called in your ace to bat,
Yeah.
and he wasn't wrong. Because, like you said, that situation with Omega felt unnecessary, and like the whole narrative of the company had to go around the narrative like Omega could, and it hurt Moose, and it certainly hurt Swan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in hindsight. I mean, retrospect, it works for the Eddie promo. But if the company got ran through by a whole other company just so a promo could be more legitimate, it was not worth it.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, Marcus, any other thoughts, questions, considerations that you want to touch on before we head out?
No, man. These, go back. It was. Look, it was a good weekend for big wrestling fans. Lot of, lot of stuff out there, but this was two stuff that I wasn't mad at. Why? It's funny because I had to get caught up on like 5 impacts from No Surrender, and I didn't know Sacrifice was even happening because I haven't watched a couple impacts since like 2 impacts behind. So I didn't know what was happening until I went on the Nerd Code Twitter and saw that Alexander resigned and kept reading and was like, this weekend. It's like, what? Then I had to scramble and try to get that in before Revolution. It didn't happen. But yeah, it was cool to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, quality shows. Congratulations to Vader. Going to be posthumously finally inducted into the Hall of Fame. And yeah, that's about it.
So, with all that being said, we're done for the night. RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp.com. We're on Twitter at NERDCORP. We are on Marcus's Twitter. We're jointly on there, apparently, according to my verbiage. You can find Marcus on Twitter at ParadoxKid, PARADOXKID.
That's me.
You can also find him on his other podcast, The True Penny Show, TruePennyShow. It's True Penny Show on Twitter. Go check out Marcus' other podcast. New Japan's doing some stuff. They're doing the New Japan tournament. So I'm sure Marcus and crew will talk about that eventually. I'm on Twitter at Chad Nerdcorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. Check that out. We'll be back next Monday for more wrestling action. Be sure to tune in, twitch.tv/Wrestling Underground, around 10:30ish, depending on when we decide to get going. And for all of us over here, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking it out. I am just jibber driving all the way through this. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for giving us a chance. Remember, as always, to watch more wrestling. And Marcus, take us home.
Good night, me.